Hello, fourth grade, and welcome to lesson 9-9. In this lesson, we're going to do some more practice on subtracting mixed numbers. Remember, your mixed numbers are numbers that have a whole number part and a fraction part. Let's go ahead and watch the short video lesson together, and then we're going to get into your notes and your guided practice.
How can you subtract mixed numbers?
You can use what you know about adding mixed numbers.
A golf ball measures about 1 4/6 inches across the center. What is the difference between the distances across the centers of a tennis ball and a golf ball? You can use properties of operations and the relationship between addition and subtraction to help subtract mixed numbers. What do you know? A golf ball measures 1 4/6 inches across the center, and a tennis ball measures 2 3/6 inches. What do you need to find? You need to find the difference between these lengths. Find 2 3/6 minus 1 4/6 by subtracting mixed numbers. To subtract 4/6 from 3/6, rename 2 3/6. Why do you need to rename 2 3/6 before you subtract? You need to rename 2 3/6 before subtracting because 3/6 is less than 4/6. 2 3/6 equals 2 plus 3/6. Remember, 1 is equal to 6/6. So, 2 plus 3/6 equals 1 plus 6/6 plus 3/6. And since 6/6 plus 3/6 equals 9/6, 1 plus 6/6 plus 3/6 equals 1 9/6. Now you have enough sixths to subtract 4/6. 2 3/6 minus 1 4/6 equals 1 9/6 minus 1 4/6. And that equals 5/6. Is the answer 5/6 reasonable?
Select your answer.
Yes, 5/6 is reasonable because 2 3/6 minus 1 4/6 is about 2 1/2 minus 1 1/2, which equals 1. Since 5/6 is close to 1, it is reasonable. The tennis ball is 5/6 inch wider than the golf ball. Find 2 3/6 minus 1 4/6 by subtracting equivalent fractions. 2 3/6 equals 2 plus 3/6. Since 6/6 is the same as 1, 2 is the same as 12/6. 12/6 plus 3/6 equals 15/6. 1 4/6 equals 1 plus 4/6, which equals 6/6 plus 4/6, which equals 10/6. 15/6 minus 10/6 equals 5/6. You can count up to check your work. 1 4/6 plus 2/6 equals 2. And 2 plus 3/6 equals 2 3/6. 2/6 plus 3/6 equals 5/6. When counting up to check your answer, why do you add 2/6 plus 3/6? First you add 2/6 to 1 4/6 to get 2. Then you add another 3/6. You add 2/6 and 3/6 to see how much you added in all. Now you know how to subtract mixed numbers.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our notes and our guided practice together. Our lesson is titled 9-9, Subtract Mixed Numbers. So stop and think, how can you subtract mixed numbers? You can either rename your mixed number, just like we saw in the example, or you could draw using fraction strips and then break them apart. Our example question here says, Evan is walking 2 1/8 miles to his aunt's house. He has already walked 6/8 mile. How much farther does Evan have to go? So we've already annotated our problem. Now we're going to stop and think. The total distance is 2 1/8 mile. The part that I know is 6/8. So I need to find the difference. I need to find what's missing. I can use fraction strips or draw a bar diagram to help me solve for the difference. So if I draw a bar diagram, 2 1/8 is my whole distance. The part that I know is 6/8, and the remaining part, we'll call it X. That's our missing number, our variable. So I need to stop and think. Can I subtract 6/8 from 2 1/8? No, I don't have enough fraction pieces in 2 1/8 to take away 6/8. So I need to rename 2 1/8 before I can complete it. Now, to make renaming it easier, I drew out fraction strips. So I showed 2 1/8 using fraction strips, and I can see right away that I don't have enough 1/8 size pieces to take away 6 of them. So what I did was I renamed one of my 8ths. So I broke one of them apart. So instead of having 2 1/8, now I had 1 plus 8/8 plus another 1/8. So 1 8/8, I renamed one of them into 8/8, plus the 1/8 is 9/8. So now I have 1 and 9/8. Now I can subtract off the 6/8. So I crossed out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my 1/8 size pieces, and I'm left with my 1 whole and 3/8 remaining. Now for another example, I put down, find the difference of 8 7/8 minus 2 4/8. Now, in order to solve this, I need to first look at the fraction and decide what I have. So I know for my fraction part, I have 7/8, and I need to take away the other fraction part, which is 4/8. Now, I have more than I need to take away, so I don't need to do any renaming. I don't need to decompose anything. So I wrote out my numbers, 8 7/8 minus 2 4/8. So the first thing I did was I subtracted the whole number parts. 8 minus 2 was 6. And then I subtracted the fraction parts. 7/8 minus 4/8 was 3/8. So my answer here was 6 3/8. Another example I gave you guys was to find the difference of 6 1/6 minus 4 5/6. Now here right away, I can tell that I need to decompose one of my wholes from 6 1/6 because I can't do 1/6 take away 5/6. So my 6 1/6 became 5 and 6/6 and 1 more 6th. So that became 5 7/6. Now I have enough. So 5 7/6 minus 4 5/6 left me with 1 2/6. And an equivalent fraction for this, I can make them smaller. I can divide both of them by 2, which is the same thing as saying 1 1/3. For your guided practice, we're going to go ahead and take a look at a few examples. For number 1, the numbers we're working with are 3 3/6 minus 2 3/6. We need to find the difference. Now, I don't need to decompose anything here or rename anything because 3/6 minus 3/6 will just give me 0. So I subtract those off, and then the 3 minus the 2 gives me 1. So my difference here is 1 inch. For number 2, I'm looking at 3 1/4 minus 1 3/4. Now here I know I need to do some renaming because I can't take 3/4 away if I only have 1/4 piece. I can do this a couple different ways. I can either count up from 1 3/4 to see how many I added, or I can subtract. So for this one, I chose to count up. So from 1 3/4 until I reached 3 1/4. So 1 3/4, I added 1/4 to it. It became 1 4/4 or 2 whole. 2 plus 1 1/4 gave me 3 1/4. So I added the 1/4 plus the 1 1/4 told me that I added a total of 1 2/4. So I added 1 2/4 to 1 3/4, and that got me back to my original number, which is the 3 1/4 over here. For numbers 3, and onward, you can see some of the renaming that we had to do. For number 3, we didn't need to do any renaming because 5/8 minus 4/8 we can do. So 7 and 5/8 minus 2 and 4/8, 7 minus 2 is 5, 5 minus 4 is 1, and 1/8 size pieces. For number 4, we had 5 whole minus 2 and 3/4. So I renamed my 5 whole as 4 and 4/4, and now I could take away the 2 and 3/4, which left me with 2 and 1/4. For number 5, 6 and 3/10 minus 1 and 8/10. Again, I had to do some renaming here. So it became 5 plus 10/10 plus that 3/10. Then I could subtract off, which gave me 5 and 13/10. So then I could subtract off the 1 and 8/10, which left me with 4 and 5/10, which we know is 5/10 is an equivalent fraction for 1/2. For number 6, we had 9 and 4/12 minus 4 and 9/12. Now we can't necessarily do 4/12 minus 9/12. There's just not enough pieces. So we had to decompose our 9. So it became 8 and 12/12 and 4/12, which equals 8 and 16/12. Now we have 8 and 16/12. I can subtract 4 and 9/12 from that. 8 minus 4 gave me 4, and 16 minus 9 gave me 5. So that became 4 and 5/12. For number 7, we had 4 and 5/6 minus 2 and 1/6. Here we can see that we have enough fraction pieces. We don't need to do any renaming. 4 minus 2 is 2. 5/6 minus 1/6 is 4/6. We can simplify that by dividing the top and the bottom by 2 to make it 2 and 2/3 instead. And for our last one on our guided practice, we have 1 and 9/12 minus 10/12. Over here, we can see right away that we don't have enough fraction pieces. So we're going to decompose that 1 whole, make it 12/12 plus 9/12. And then we'll subtract off the 10/12. So 12/12 plus 9/12 gives us 21/12. 12 plus 9 is 21. Then we can subtract off the 10/12. So 21 over 12 minus 10 over 12 gave us 11 over 12 is our final answer there. That's it for your guided practice on this lesson. Remember to go back and rework your problems slowly, draw whenever you need to, show your work, write out your equations and your steps so that you can check your work as you go. And if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.